Hello everyone. Today we're going to be doing cookies, dunking cookies. They're called koulourakia, and koulourakia meaning, literal meaning is cookies in Greek. But they are dunking cookies. They are like the biscotti for the Italians. It's the koulourakia for the Greeks. They dunk it in their milk, in their coffee, and they eat it. We have multiple recipes depending on the region you're coming from. I'm going to be doing this recipe today. But I do have also a vegan recipe if you'd like. There's a form that you can fill, and I can send you the vegan way to do those cookies. They are also very delicious and very flavorful. Those you can find them in Greek festivals, when they do the festival at different Orthodox churches. So it is very known, and they are light and delicious and addicting actually. Now into this, we're gonna start with having 2 sticks of butter, and you can cut the recipe in half. I do this amount because I have a bunch that like them. I can even pack them and give them as little gifts for Christmas for my friends and neighbors. You can do much. It's something that you can bake quite a bit of it with no regrets because they're gonna be gone. So I have 2 sticks of butter, which are at room temperature. Everything that you're using, including orange juice, fresh orange juice squeezed, milk that I'm going to be using, everything needs to be at room temperature. Eggs, everything at room temperature, so you can have a better mixture and better end result at the end. Those 2 butters, we're gonna add to them 1.5 cups of sugar. But I want to tell you that I have 2 oranges that I have zested, and it's a really good idea to add the orange zest into the sugar and mix it with a fork or something, and that actually will flavor, deepen the flavor of the orange through the sugar. So you're gonna end up having a lot more orangey cookie rather than just adding the orange zest without mixing it into the sugar. The sugar becomes very intense orange flavor, which enhances the cookie on a much higher level than just adding it as is. So after you crumble the sugar with the orange zest, you add that. It's only the top. You add that into the butter, and we are gonna put the mixer on. Now we will, after it mixes a little bit, you get that creaminess, but you need to clean the sides of the bowl a little bit so the butter mixture is more even and it gets better mix and better fluff. So I'll mix just a tiny bit more, and then I'm gonna add the eggs. We have 4 eggs in this recipe. And I'm gonna add also the flavoring. Okay, so into this, I'm gonna add the eggs. We have 4 eggs in this recipe, and I'm gonna also add some vanilla and some brandy into it. I'll add the eggs as it's mixing. I'll add the first egg like that. I'll mix it in, and then I'll add 1 egg at a time. Making sure that it blends well after every addition. Okay. Third, into this, I'm gonna add pure vanilla, about a teaspoon and a half to 2 teaspoons, and about a tablespoon of Brandy. I'm stopping it so you can hear what I have to say regarding the dry ingredients. This amount of recipe, it needs about 8 cups of flour, but it depends on the humidity and how fluffy your flour is, and what kind of how fine your flour is. So all those measurements depends. So I'm gonna start with 7 cups of flour. And then if needed, I'll add 1 tablespoon at a time until I get to the right texture. So in this bowl, I have 7 cups of flour, and I'm gonna be alternating some flour and some milk. I have half cup of milk at room temperature here, and I have also 3/4 of a cup of no, this is half a cup of orange juice too. This cup is small cup, so it looks like 3/4. So I have half a cup of orange juice and half a cup of milk at room temperature, and 7 cups of flour to start with, and we're gonna be adding flour if needed by the tablespoons at the end. Into that, I have 2 teaspoons of baking powder that I'm gonna mix into the flour. And just mix it a little bit so it is evenly spread. Now this egg here that was left is to brush the cookies before baking to give them that shine and nice looking results at the end. Okay, so now we're gonna start adding some of the flour. I'm gonna scoop it with cup, measuring cup that I have here. So I'll start with about 3 cups to start, full cups as you see. I'm gonna wet these flour a little bit with the milk, half of the milk, and half of the orange juice, so it doesn't spray me and shower me with all the flour dust that comes out. And I'll start the mixer on a low speed. Until it's incorporated inside, so it doesn't just fly outside of the mixer and makes a big mess. And then I can higher the speed a little bit. And as soon as it's incorporated, I'll stop, because remember, we never want to over mix a cookie to get a much better texture. I'll add more flour, the rest of these that I have here. And like I did before, I'm gonna wet this flour with the rest of the milk and the orange juice. And on low speed again, we start to mix. And at this point, we keep an eye to see the texture of the dough, and only if needed, we will add by the tablespoon extra flour. So the bowl is going to start cleaning itself out. All the sides are going to become cleaner. The dough is not stuck on the sides, and that means that the dough seems to be good if you take a little bit, it should be tiny bit sticky, but very pliable and doesn't stick on the palms of your hand. So it is sticky, tacky to the test, to the touch, but it's pliable, shapeable, and it doesn't stick at the palms of your hands. So this is a perfect texture that I want. So this is the cookie. Now I'm gonna be shaping it and making them into the shape that we normally do in as kulurakya. To get this out. You just make sure to dump everything out of the paddle here. Okay. And what I normally do, I take again about walnut size or small egg size, a little bigger than walnut, and I roll it. You can also roll it on a table surface. This is all cleaned out for the baking needs. And if it's a little sticky, you can still add a tiny bit of flour and mix it in, but mine is perfect. So we have a long string like that. You just roll it and you have the koulourakia. I'm going to continue to make those shapes and fill my baking pan, and before baking, I'm going to crack the egg, and with the egg yolk, I'll add a little bit brandy, mix it together, and then brush the top of the cookie. Okay, shaping our cookies, just a detailed way of shaping it. If it is a little bit sticky, you can just sprinkle tiny bit of flour, tiny bit, as if you're putting some salt on your food. Very, very little. Rub it into your surface. Take the amount of cookie, which we said it's like the size of a small egg. Roll it. And it should roll easily, and it opens. It is very pliable cookie. You know, fix the edges, and then you just roll it like this, and you have the cookie. I'll show you how it looks. Those are the cookies that I have already prepared. Now I need to egg wash them. I have one yolk over here. I'm gonna add to the yolk a little bit of brandy. You can add vanilla if you want, and some water, but it's the holidays, so why not brandy? I mix them. I mix the brandy with the egg yolk. It becomes pale yellow, and it smells really good. It's not eggy. That takes the egginess away, and it gives really nice golden brown color to the cookie after it's baked. So I egg wash the cookies, and then I pop them in 350 degrees oven, preheated oven, for about 12 to 15 minutes, depending on your oven also, if it is accurate or not, if it's regular bake or it's convectional bake. Normally in convectional bake it cooks a little bit quicker than normal bake. So you just keep an eye until, according to your oven state and type, And just make sure that they are really nice golden, darker golden color. And it's gonna be darker not because it's overcooked, because that wash that we're giving it tends to absorb heat much faster, so you're gonna have, the surface is gonna be darker than what the cookie is cooked. So if the surface is a little bit more darker golden, it doesn't mean that the cookie is overbaked. But the cookie inside is gonna still be just accurate. I'll finish this and then I'll pop it in the oven and I'll show you the end result, the end product after it is completely baked. See you in a bit. Okay, we are coming up onto the end of our session here. We baked our cookies and this is the result. Nice and golden, shiny. They are long, so you can dip in your coffee, in your tea, and just enjoy. Some of them, they end up coming up with a little like imperfections, like a little crack on the side, but this is normal. This is part of the baking process. They can still taste delicious and get devoured really fast. I'm gonna break it now just to show you how it looks from the inside. The inside is softer. It has, I can smell actually the orange zest in it. It's orangey, delicious, just sweet, not too sweet, just perfect. And it's crispy from the outside, soft from the inside, just perfect for a cup of tea or a glass of coffee or even brandy on the rocks. Enjoy and happy holidays. Please like and subscribe if you like our videos, and we'll be coming up with a lot more recipes, not only sweets, but mostly Mediterranean cooking. It's the healthy way to go and it's the delicious way to go, and I'm sure that many of you are going to appreciate that. Enjoy and see you again next time.